and I am here. I did not get a video produced for this week because we just got back from Thanksgiving break with my parents and had a blast doing that. And then we were hit with a stomach virus and we're in recovery for that. Just a couple of us got that, but it was pretty intense, and I still have evidence of that here on my under eye zone. But I wanted to stop in and say hello. How are you? What kind of things do you have planned for this month? We have plenty of just like daily normal things that we have to get through, like homeschool lessons and church activities and things of that sort. And then just some variety of fun Christmassy things like cookie swaps, women's dinners, that kind of thing. And yeah. Hello, welcome Planning Real Alaska. I am so jealous of your snow. When we lived in Alaska, we were in Anchorage and loved it. It didn't feel quite as Alaskan as, as it would have if we would have been further out. But in Anchorage, it was pretty, it was fun. It was pretty, and it was also way too mainstream, but it's fine. Anyway, we have had snow here. That has been exciting, but then it is all melted. And I wanted to kind of know how your Thanksgiving went. Ours went really, really well. We were at my parents' for about a week, and I stayed true to my low carb diet, way of eating, if you will. Okay, Peters Creek, very cool. I really like Eagle River, where that wildlife preserve is. Super fantastic to just go hiking through. So Thanksgiving went really, really well. We had fried turkey, we had roasted turkey, we had sorry, I keep thinking that I hear a child back here. We had a variety of side dishes and things. I managed to steer clear of anything and everything that is not ideal for my personal body, and I felt super proud of myself. I got to make the homemade dressing. I don't know if y'all are like this, but stuffing is what you put into a bird. Dressing is what you bake outside of a bird. So I got to make the dressing. It was my grandmother's recipe. I have done a dressing recipe here on my channel in the past, a couple of years ago, I think. And I did not make a substitute. Hey, Go Fish! I did not make a substitute dressing for myself and Jared to eat while we were down there with like homemade bread or, low carb bread or anything like that. Instead, we sort of modified what we used to make my grandmother's recipe and just totally made a different thing. It tasted like dressing, it felt like dressing, but there was no low carb bread in it. There was none of my my one net carb bread. There was no Profo, if you will, none of the egg white bread. There was no bread in it whatsoever. So it turned out delicious, and I definitely want to put together a quick video showing y'all how I did that at some point this month, because while Thanksgiving is over and done, dressing is still one of those things that in my family we would have it at Thanksgiving and we would have it at Christmas. It was just such a huge, huge favorite for everyone involved. What else? So I did that. We had Brussels sprouts that I made, and turkey and green beans. I didn't make the green beans, but they were just steamed with bacon and onions. Yum. So that was probably the highest carb thing that I had on my plate. It was delicious. I felt very satisfied. My mom made her German chocolate pie, which was always, always one of my favorites, and I didn't feel the need to eat any of that. So I feel like I stayed very true to what worked well for my body and would not cause me great grief at the end of it all. So that was huge. And then we came home and got back into the swing of things. And like I said, stomach virus came at us hard. Now, on vacation at my parents' house, I ate a lot of cheese and a lot of nuts because those were easy things that I had access to. And I find that I am often snacky whenever I am around family. Like, you know how it is when tons of people. Oh, Go Fish, that would be really cool. We'll have to talk about that. So whenever I'm around, like a large group of people, everybody's kind of snacking at their own timeline, at their own schedule. So, my sister would grab a snack or something, or my girls would have a snack, or, oh, thank you, Go Fish. like there was always somebody snacking. Jared would grab a snack. My dad would, you know what I mean? It was just like there were lots of activities to do and everybody was kind of just having a little bit of food here and there. So I found myself wanting to snack more because the outside influence was pretty strong. And so nuts and cheese were my go-to. I did take ingredients to make the no egg white bread that Maria Emmerich has. I was able to weigh out all of my ingredients here at my house, and then my mom has a KitchenAid, and so I made my bread out there, and it turned out awesome being able to do that. It really helped a lot. So Jared and I would have like sandwiches at lunchtime on that, or I made French toast for us for breakfast on our last morning there, while my girls and my parents had like cinnamon rolls. So it was like a really good thing to be able to take with us. Now, obviously, everywhere you travel, you're not going to be able to just like make egg white protein bread. But the fact that I didn't have to use anything but water at my mom's house. I mean, I brought my scale to weigh out my water, and like I said, she had a KitchenAid. So it worked out beautifully, beautifully. My mom made rolls for Thanksgiving, and we did not, I abstained from that. I abstained from the sweet potatoes. If they would have been roasted sweet potatoes, I might have indulged a little bit, but overall, I didn't feel like I was missing anything. Planning Real Alaska, yes. The bread Neely has been making over on her channel, it is the same bread. She did go through and try out the Maria Emmerich, and she has modified it. In fact, I did use more of Neely's reasoning and thought process, because I did bring whole egg powder as well and measured that into my final batter. So that worked out really, really well. And it also helps so much. Like Neely talks about how the sides don't sink in. So perfect. It is so true. It does not sink in whenever you add the whole egg yolk powder, or the whole egg powder or the whole yolk powder. Those things just really help with the structure somehow. And I don't really know the chemistry behind that yet. So that's fun. But overall, trying to get back in the swing of things and then getting hit with a stomach bug, that was a situation. And so I'm currently dehydrated. So I've got my water, just plain water. And my plan for the next several weeks, as the holiday seasons, the Christmas seasons are sort of unfolding before us, I want to maintain what I have with the way that I eat, but I'm also a little bit more lax in what I'm choosing to eat. You know, my last What I Eat in a Day video, I showed you a dairy-free day, and that was pretty easy for me for that day. But long term in the holiday season, it's a little bit trickier. We came right back from Texas, and I made cheeseburger pie from the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook, which is loaded with cheese. So that is, you know, it was loaded with cheese and cream, and it had like all the stuff and things with it. So it was one of those things where I feel like if you get into the habit of always, you know, having nuts and cheese to snack on, or things that are technically low carb but can be a little bit addictive, sort of easing your way out for some people is really good. For some others, it's just like a hard stop. Well, for us, it was kind of like an easing out of that for ourselves, this particular recycle back onto our own, you know, way of eating with our own kitchen and all those things. So I know I had other thoughts, and I'm kind of like all over the map right now. Hang on a minute. Let me catch myself. Did y'all stay on whatever plan you were on for this holiday season, this past Thanksgiving? Did you manage to control what you were doing and be mindful of what felt right and what did not feel right for your body? I would love to know that. The length of time that it has taken me to be able to figure out that even one cheat meal or one off-plan meal is okay. It has taken me a long time to figure that out, but even still, most of the things that are off-plan for me, the aftermath is not worth it. So it's been useful knowing that. Obviously the cheese thing, I've still yet to fully grasp and be able to execute well, but it was a good time. And, you know, I think food eaten with family and with glad hearts is always going to be healthy. What else? Oh, one thing. One thing that I definitely struggled to do effectively was drink water. Yeah. I am still in that period of the year where it's hard for me to consume just water. Hot coffee all day long. Hot tea, a little bit of water here and there, yes. But for the most part, I'm in the season where all I want to do is drink hot coffee all day long, which is not ideal for anybody, I don't think. And I I really need to get back in the swing of things. I feel very dehydrated after my stomach bug, and I'm trying to rehydrate. I noticed on this that while my stomach is less bloated than it was before the stomach bug, my dehydration levels are pretty strong. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but whenever I get sick, I get the little blood blisters, I get dry lips, I feel just like dry, cracked hands, like everything about it. It just dehydrates me entirely. So I've been trying, I couldn't drink water at all yesterday without feeling sick. So I'm trying very hard to stay on top of water and salt because, you know, after a stomach flu, it can be very harsh on your electrolytes. Okay, Go Fish, you had some comments. THM stuff. You lost over 40 pounds. That's amazing in 1 year. Wow. With the cheats, and then THM foods are great. It is just getting back into the habit of it all that's real, all just doing it. I agree with you, Go Fish. Getting back into whatever plan or way of eating that you're doing is very hard. And same, Real Alaska. I understand going back to THM for sure, especially in this season where you're like, I really want to be able to have like mashed sweet potatoes and, you know, some of these like breads or cinnamon rolls. I know Brianna Thomas, like, or Brianna, regardless. She's got amazing cinnamon roll recipes that are crossovers, and it's thinking like, oh, I so want that for Christmas morning. But I know for me personally, when I eat those things, the inflammation is fast and aggressive, and I just feel it in all of my joints, even if it is slower carbs, or even if I were to go through and sprout my wheat and dry it and grind it myself, like doing all of the slow food preparation type things, it just does not do well for me. So ketovore, 10 years. That's amazing. Janie, that's amazing. High five to you. I started with Weston A. Price Foundation in 2012. So it's been almost 10 years for me in this whole just like trying to find what way of eating works well for my body, and doing it this way has, like, the ketovore thing has been the most long standing for myself. 3 months. Oh, wow. Yeah, Go Fish, 100%. Like, what you eat makes a major difference in how your metabolism functions. You know, there's tons of people on the internet that tell you it's just calories in, calories out, and the kind of calories don't matter. I understand their premise and disagree. I do believe the kind of calories you eat matters a lot. So, what else? So I'm trying to get back on water because I know water will help me tremendously in recovery from the stomach flu, and it's just been difficult. I'm also trying to get back into the swing of not just reaching for a stick of pepper jack cheese and some almonds or pecans. I'm definitely working my way toward that. I haven't done any of that today, so yay. Obviously, I didn't do that yesterday either when the stomach bug really hit me hard. Real Alaska, I exactly am doing ketovore. So I have a high emphasis in protein and a low carb intake. I don't really mind how much fat I get. I just eat to satiation, and yeah, ton of protein. I'm trying to get between 100, 150 grams of protein a day. Some days it's easier, some days it's more difficult. I'm just trying to hit that average in that particular range. And then exercise, don't worry about diet. No. Healthy bodies are made in the kitchen. 100% Go Fish. 100% agree with you there. Oh, Claudia, COVID, no. You will heal. Yeah, getting dehydrated is so hard. It's so hard. And it's like you just don't want to drink, especially with a stomach bug. And then you just like, you're like, I know I need the water, but I know if I drink too much of it, I'm gonna be vomiting again. And then there were a couple of others here. Do I count veggies as carbs? It kind of depends there, just because if I'm eating cabbage, I try to be mindful of how much cabbage I'm eating because that is carby to a certain degree. And like the zucchini and their squashes, I tend to be mindful, and I don't do piles of vegetables the way that I once did. They're more of a complement rather than the main event on my plate, if that makes sense. Challenge. All right, Go Fish. I'm going to read this one out loud. You did a challenge with a friend and she counted calories. You did THM with weekend cheats. You lost 10 pounds and she lost 1 pound in 1 month's time. That's phenomenal, Go Fish. Like, honestly, I think that is such a huge testament that what you eat matters. And yes, let's all be praying for Claudia as she recovers. We did wind up going through the Delta variant, or it went through us rather, and it was a thing. It was a thing, but praise God, we're on the other side of it, and there's not yet been any observable, long-standing implications from it for us specifically. So I'm very appreciative and grateful to God for His healing in that matter. Planning Real Alaska. Okay, when you were doing keto, your cholesterol went crazy. I would challenge you to hop over onto Two Crazy Ketos, Krazy, Keto, Two Crazy Ketos. Hop onto their channel. Recently, they just uploaded a video talking about their blood work. They went through and did blood work and they talked all the things, and it was fascinating to hear what they experienced and how the things were handled and whatnot. So their numbers were fascinating. Claudia, yes. Keto so works for us homeschool moms, doesn't it? Like every time I would eat a carb on Trim Healthy Mama, an hour 15, maybe an hour 30 later, I would be ravenous. Like so ravenous that I would need to eat at least 3 fuel pull snacks to feel even remotely close to like, I'm okay. Excuse me, hiccups are gonna start and it's gonna be painful, oh dear. So it's one thing after another, right? Hiccups, water. Yeah, Go Fish. Your body really can only manage so much at a time. As far as water is concerned, I don't know how often the live chat replays with replays. So I find that I'm more of a gulper than a sipper. It's easy for me to think, I'm thirsty, and just go swallow down 8 ounces of water in a moment, versus like the constant sipping thing. I can do that with coffee. I can't do it with water, no matter what kind of cup I have. I think the cup does tend to make a difference. I am also one who much prefers lukewarm to warm water rather than ice cold water. I can't do ice cold water. Yeah, I know it's better for your vocal cords as well, Go Fish, to just take a lot, like frequent small sips of water versus just like inundating your whole self with the water at one point, or at one moment. But yeah, it's just one of those mental things to me. Isn't that what everything is? It's just always a mental challenge to overcome. But this week I'm trying to be more mindful of the water. I'm still a little apprehensive. I'm probably only going to down about 2 of these today, just because I am apprehensive after the stomach virus that has made its way around. And I will be better. Room temperature water. Yeah. And it is a mind thing. It totally is. I feel like that is just everything. I can go walk into this refrigerator right here and open it up and say, oh, there's nothing to eat. But what I'm really meaning to say is there's nothing that I feel like eating, and feelings aren't facts. At least that's what we talk about. Feelings are great indicators, but are they facts? it's hard to say. So we tend to use them as indicators, like I feel hungry. That could be a real feeling, but I don't feel like eating anything in this refrigerator right now. That's not a fact. It's just that's just an indicator that I'm just craving something different. Oh, when we first came home from Texas, we had not had, or I had not had anything sweet the entire time that we were gone, except for stevia drops in my coffee. That was the one thing. Peppermint stevia drops. Ugh, I love peppermint at this time of year. So I decided that night that I wanted to have one of my muffin in a mug cakes, and I did a cake batter flavor with some of the, is it the high fat? What is it? I'd have to look it up. You know what? No, I'm gonna have to dig it out. Some of the super fats, keto sprinkles. I got these in a perfect keto, like as a bonus back in the summertime. So I tried some of those in there. It was a fantastic funfetti little mug cake mix situation. I used my muffin in a mug master mix. No, I didn't. I used my chocolate chip cookie, my single serve chocolate chip cookie master mix in as my cookie base, and instead of doing like vanilla and chocolate chips, I did my found it. I did the Loran cake batter drops in there. Oh, so tasty, with the sprinkles mixed in. It was amazing. It was definitely low carb keto, not ketovore, and it definitely had dairy in it, but it was one of those things where I had gone, 7 days without having any kind of a sweet treat. And after having made those chocolate eclairs, the PSMF friendly chocolate eclairs that I posted recently, I needed something so very much. I also do the egg white pudding so frequently from the PSMF stuff. I don't know what that was. Nobody opened a door. That was a little odd. Anyway, so all of that to say, we started back up with that cookie master mix. It can be so versatile if you want it to be. All right, let me come back here. I've missed a couple of lemon and water is nice, go fish. I do agree, but the amount of effort it takes for me to think to do that beforehand, it's not gonna happen. Yes. Kidney cleanse using watermelon, fresh cilantro, and lemon juice in a blender. So refreshing, and yes, you will flush your kidneys as well. Go fish. That sounds like a fantastic summertime thing to me. I don't think I would be capable of doing that in the winter. I cannot do cold protein shakes. I cannot do cold eggnog, like all these. That's actually untrue. Eggnog I can do cold, for sure. And I'm ready to make more eggnog. I do have a recipe for that here on my channel as well, and I'm gonna go dig that up, and I'm gonna make that within the next week, I think. Love eggnog. That's about the one thing that I can drink cold and not have a problem. Have I tried the new THM bread package that you buy on the THM site? I have not. Who was it? Araya Hope Health. Let me search really quickly. Araya Hope Health. She did go through and make it, and it looks really cool, but I have discovered that the zero carb bread, or the one carb bread that I usually make, I don't care for it as much as I care for the egg white bread from Maria Emmerich as modified by Indigo Neely. I find that I much prefer that bread, the Profo, as Neely's husband Jeff calls it, over the low carb bread that I used to make often with my DIY baking blend. I still do make that because my husband prefers the low carb bread that I make. So I've got two different loaves happening here in this house. I think, oh no, it's over there. I've got one out here, and then I have one in the fridge. So I do make different ones in that respect. I have always struggled to CHB mommy of four, I have always struggled with the purchasing of pre-made packages or easy dry mixes that you then just add water. I've always struggled with those just because I've always been kind of a reverse engineer, a DIYer at heart. Like however I can fix it myself, I want to do it that way. However I can figure out how to individualize it for myself, I want to do it that way. I get great satisfaction out of doing those things. And I struggle with buying pre-made mixes, especially like with THM. The only pre-made thing I would always buy was their chocolate whey protein, strawberry whey protein. I did try their Choco Peanut, and that was not it for us. But the chocolate and the strawberry were so delicious, and I could not replicate those two flavors well. So I would occasionally buy those. I do actually think I still have a chocolate and a strawberry in my cabinet down there, but for the most part, I just love to make things myself from scratch. And I mean, I was going through grinding wheat before I had an actual wheat grinder or a grain mill. I was grinding wheat on my own in a blender and then sifting it through and regrinding it over and over again just so I could make flour for myself. Like how silly is that? I could have easily gone and purchased sprouted wheat flour at the store where we were living in Utah at the time. Instead, I wanted to go the hard route. Actually, I think we were living in Wyoming and we would still have to go down to Utah to pick it up. But it was just one of those things. Like, if I can do it myself the hard way, I definitely will. Planning Real Alaska. Do I get an eggy taste from the bread that Indigo Neely makes? No. But I also recognize fully that I have taste buds that are fully attuned to this way of eating and this way of life. I think I started THM in January 2016. That was whenever my taste buds flipped from standard American diet, Weston A. Price, like high carb stuff, over to alternative flours, alternative sweeteners, that kind of thing. It took me about a month to fully situate myself, but I'm also one of those people where I'm gonna make the decision and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna go whole hog right now without fail. And if I fail, okay. I do not have much of a fear of failure on most things. So, and I also don't fear judgment often. At least I think I don't. So, yeah. I don't remember. Oh, the eggy taste. That's where I was going. So with the eggy taste, I don't notice it if it exists. With that protein bread, it is such a small amount of the egg powder that I use, the whole egg powder that I use, that I'm not convinced that it changes the taste so much as it manages the structure better. And I think really dialing in the exact gram amount that you want to use for your breads, that really, once you get that dialed in, it makes a big difference for sure. Hey, Lissa. Usually I see Lissa over on Diva and the Divine live streams. So thank you for showing up. Well, Go Fish, a way to stay better connected, to encourage one another, hangouts, that kind of thing. I don't use any social media other than YouTube's, and I don't even consider this to be social media. I consider it to be a search engine with a social aspect. I have completely eradicated the social media from my life, and my emotional health has improved dramatically. Like I said, I'm whole hog, and I can go whole hog. I divorced the Facebook back in 2015, and then I divorced Instagram a year ago, and life is good. So for me, doing this live stream thing is helpful and fun and engaging. But if I were to do this more often, I would become consumed by it personally. But Go Fish, if you wanted to do something, I would happily share that on my community tab for others to be able to participate in. Claudia, you don't either with the social medias. You do and I love YouTube. I love it. I love the fact that I can learn just about anything that I want to learn. I can find what other people are doing and think, oh, I've done that, or I like to do that, but in a different way. Or it reminds me of different things that always, I have a never ceasing mind up here, and that is hard. And so whenever I get the next new idea, old ideas fall to the back and they don't get back into the Rolodex of ideas for a long time to come. However, if I watch videos on YouTube, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I did that too. Okay, I should do that again. It's like a memory in a Rolodex form in videos from people that are not me. But yeah, YouTube is great. Yeah, and Go Fish, if you do that, definitely let me know. Claudia says she would love to go to your live streams. So yeah, let's figure something out somehow. Just know that for me personally, it's a no for the YouTube, or for anything but the YouTubes. Okay, what else? So Vlogmas is a thing this year for very many creators. It's never a thing for me. True story. I refuse to get locked into something because the moment that I lock myself into something, I'm like, forget that. Or the moment that I feel obligated to somebody else to do something, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna rebel against that. Go Fish, you have autoimmune stuff, life stuff. That's awesome that you have a support team through YouTube. Go Fish. Very cool. I think that is very cool. What else, y'all? I kind of like scatterbrained. I didn't really come on here with any kind of agenda other than to connect and let you know that I had the stomach bug, which was a thing. Blogmas. Yes. Lisa, I need your site, your blog, so that I can check it out. Okay, so Go Fish does Monday sometimes and every Thursday for live streams plus videos. Go Fish, can you drop a link to your YouTube channel? That way, I think the live stream will pop up on the replay. Yeah, and Lissa, I am a rebel. I just can't. I cannot with the rules and the things and pressed on me. Nope, I'll do it if I want to. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Oh, you're not a mod. Okay. We'll see if you can, and if not, post it in the comments and I will make sure it gets approved on whenever I get this set up for a replay. All right, that's all I have for y'all today. Drink your water and remind me to drink my water because I need that. And let's just keep going. It's a busy season and I'm here for the busyness, and I will be very much so here for the recovery from busyness come January. But okay, Go Fish, if you will pop it into a comment once this goes up as a video, that would be wicked helpful. I know I can click on your profile picture. There it is. Those are the words. Words are hard. So once I get this loaded up, I'll pop onto yours and see if I can't upload it as like a pinned comment, so that way people can come and check out your live streams and your videos and things like that, because support YouTube is a very good thing for people who don't necessarily feel like they can connect with somebody without, like that want to do an anonymous kind of connection to start with, just to get their comfort levels sort of matched. I'm sorry, I'm getting all kinds of notifications. Yep, that would be awesome, Go Fish. Yes. All right, everybody, thank you so much for popping on live with me. I am not doing Vlogmas, but if I do post a few more extra videos, that could be cool, I guess. Yes. Okay, Lissa, I will try to post a comment pinned as well. I'll put Go Fish's channel in there and Lissa's website in there. She does a blog. Like I said, she's often over on Brianna's channel over at Diva and the Divine. Love her. She is such a precious person. And so yeah. Oh, thank you, Go Fish. Janie Bug, thank you so much as well. Claudia, I will be praying for your full recovery from the COVIDs. And yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna actually sign off this time. No more long pilot goodbyes.